now because recording is, I'm just going to record the damn thing. That's how we roll. So we go off the cuff, man. There's no crazy specific flow. I don't have any crazy specific questions. I just kind of roll with it. So I could give you a full intro, but to be honest, everybody know, like I kind of just met you. I saw you wearing an Oregon Ducks hat in one of your videos, and I'm an Oregon Duck, so I was like, I gotta get this guy on. So please fill us in as to who you are, what you do.
Yeah, man. Well, I think you must have came like right after me at Oregon, because I was there in 2001, 2002 season when we won the Fiesta Bowl.
I was right after.
Yeah, you were right after.
Yeah.
And so when did you graduate?
I graduated 06. I was there 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh yeah, so you were incoming the year that I got hurt. I blew out my shoulder, and that was the end of my deal. But yeah, you were the year after. So you probably are still buddies with many of my mutual friends like Alan Amundsen and Kenny Washington and guys like that who all played. And those were all my roommates. So even though I wasn't playing anymore, we all lived together in the Harlow Palace of Love.
I remember that place. I remember that.
Everyone remembers that place. That was the place.
And like the driveway that you go in and come out of.
Oh yeah, the circles.
Man. The throwbacks. Look at this. I feel like an old man now. I'm digging it. That's cool.
Yeah, man. So I'm down in California now. I moved down to El Dorado Hills.
Okay.
About a year and a half ago. And yeah, so I have a partner down in Chandler, Arizona, and we run an online training company called Job Killing.
Gotcha.
And it's really kind of built off the premise of what I've been doing for the last 7-8 years, which is helping local business owners generate leads for their businesses.
Gotcha.
Using the internet as our harness point. So yeah, man, I was in the car business before that. After leaving Oregon, kind of got out of college. wasn't my thing. I was only there because I wanted to play football. Yeah. And then I kind of just stumbled. I got fired in 2008 and stumbled into the internet stuff, and kind of like you, I was watching some of your stuff on kind of like your journey. I know you were doing some stuff with fitness, and you probably still are, I'm sure. But saw the internet and was like, man, that's what I want to do. I want to be online. I want to work from home. I want to be able to not answer to anyone. And I just started kind of going down this treasure trove of the internet and learning a lot and paying a lot of people a lot of money to learn more. And then now here we are. And Job Killing's, it's a pretty awesome deal. We've done, I think, I haven't got the exact numbers, but I believe we're over 10 million in sales in the last 24 months or so, right about there. So, man, just kind of growing that business and enjoying the sun of California and not enjoying or not missing the rain of Oregon, You
were from Oregon then?
I lived there. I went to high school there. I was actually from San Diego. I grew up my first 10 years in San Diego, then moved to Oregon, kind of was there ever since. So I would say I was from Oregon for most of my life. So for sure.
Gotcha. That's cool. Yeah, I'm actually down. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm in the East Bay.
Yeah.
So I'm not down, but I'm down in California compared to Oregon. That's cool, man. So, and that's the thing what attracted me to you is the concept of what you guys were talking about. Because everybody that I talk to or talks to me, I'm more in the realm of entrepreneurship, but the branding, marketing, advertising, the solopreneur, the personal brand. But
sure,
what you're doing is helping people transition from the 9 to 5, and I think a realistic, almost faster way into the world of, like you just said, traveling. So people want to work behind their computer. So, without giving away too much of your goods, what are the first few things you could teach someone on how they could start that process?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that people forget to do when they're thinking of transitioning to being an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, or what have you, is they really don't ever build out their business mathematically. They don't build out what it's going to look like. And I think that's a big problem, because I talk to people all day long that have tried businesses and they can't figure out why they never got off the ground or why they could never make enough money. And they generally picked businesses or industries that have no leverage points in them. And so they become just a worker of their own business, whether it's detailing cars or whatever it is that they try to go off and do on their own. Yeah, they basically create a job for themselves, and you probably did something similar with that when you were training, right? Yeah. You were, you only have so many hours in the day, and until you figure out how to start leveraging or get into a business that has some leverage points in it, you're gonna grind it and grind. So I think first and foremost, you have to identify a business model that will serve you instead of you constantly having to serve it. I think that's huge. And I don't think many people think about that. I don't think that's taught generally in college or anywhere. And it's probably one of the biggest things that I've seen in my business and why we've been able to grow so big is there's so many leverage points. This audio that you and I will do will be listened to by thousands of people, and I don't have to say it 1,000 times.
Exactly.
And so it's thinking through that. I think the second thing that people need to do that they oftentimes don't, they really don't think about is they need to get in something that they actually are interested in. So many people are just chasing opportunities, and you see many people jump into these network marketing businesses. That's generally where the people think they're going to become an entrepreneur is they go and join an opportunity like a network marketing company or something along those lines.
Yeah.
In reality, you're not really building any skill sets, and you're literally just joining something because you see that there may be light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
So I think having that that understanding of like, if I'm going to go and do this, I have to be doing something that I ultimately enjoy doing every day. And when maybe it's the weekends, I enjoy doing it on the weekends too.
Yeah.
Like that's how you get successful, is enjoy what the heck you're doing.
Yeah.
Because
you'll find a way to keep pushing. You're speaking my exact language, man. Like I love doing these things.
Me too.
Some people, it's work. They're like, how do you do it every day? I'm like, bro, if I had nothing to do, I would still just do this because I just enjoy doing it so damn much.
Exactly. And that's a key component to me of how you're going to transition from working a job into going into a business, is that you freaking enjoy waking up every day and grinding. And even if it's grinding for 16 or 18 hours in a day, you don't feel like it's work, man. It's just that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
What's that?
People watching, like, how do they happen upon? Because I know a lot of people are like, sounds great. How do I find that? I get that question all the time. How do I find a passion or something I love doing?
Well, ultimately you got to look at the things that you inherently have been drawn to your entire life. So if you're all about cars and that's your deal, then, you got to start listen to step number one, which I was talking about, which is how can you leverage that? How can you use that, that desire for working on cars or whatever, but in a point where you're not going to become the mule, right? Yeah. So I think you got to look back at the things that are interesting to you. Not everything you enjoy though is a business. So just you might enjoy freaking, I don't know, candy, but it doesn't mean you got to start a business about candy, right? So I think you do have to look into what's interesting to you, what you enjoy, photography, what have you, and then apply those leverage points to it. We can get deeper into that, as we chat or whatever, how you might, I might be able to do that.
When you say leverage points, like I fully get it. Like leverage points is like, it's like this is, we can repurpose this, right? So I can say, we're going to film this, it'll be a video. I have all these places that can go. Like you said, thousands will see it. So leverage points, if you could explain to people what your definition of those are.
Yeah. So, I think ultimately, like we're in our business, when we train the entrepreneurs that we train every day, we're training them to leverage, the use of the internet, but you can also leverage other people, right? That's called what most jobs are doing on a daily basis. They're leveraging you. So those leverage points, like in our industry, are going to be with lead generation is we're putting stuff out onto the web. We're placing it so while we're sleeping and someone's doing a search or someone's online looking for something, they're going to run into it. It's going to then transition that buyer to the seller we're shooting a lead over to in our business, and we're sleeping. We're asleep at the wheel. Yeah. So that to me is leverage. The internet's working for me while I'm sleeping. In the sense of being a business owner. If you own a business, it's going to be, hey, I own this business and I have employees working for me while I am off golfing. And you're leveraging someone else. You're buying their time, but you're selling it for more money. Yeah. Right.
And I think part of that is getting a level of even learning. So some people are scared of learning new areas where they could then leverage. So it's like the old school way of like, I'm gonna get this job, and basically you're saying you own a job. Like I had a gym, I owned my job. But I think the cool part of the internet is saying, all right, if I'm gonna learn to leverage, like what are the things and tools I must utilize and learn to do that? So like, YouTube is a great one, right? YouTube is and some people hate being on video, but do you hate being on video? Or do you hate being broke? Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
I mean, every time someone gives me some bullshit excuse about not liking to do something, I'm like, cool. Do you like being broke more than that? Because if you like being broke more than that, and the problem with a lot of people is they've been broke for so long that they're not afraid of being broke anymore.
Exactly.
And so they won't get outside of their comfort zone and actually go and do some shit that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, shit, it broke. I mean, it sucks, but I've been broke for so long. What does it matter?
They find a comfort in being broke. They find a comfort in being there and being
for sure.
Yeah,
they can get by. They can live. They can get by. They can get their milk and their cheese or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like leverage points. Freaking YouTube is a huge leverage point.
Mm-hmm.
You put a video out today, it's going to be there for the next 5 or 10 years. I have videos that we put out years ago that make me money every day.
Yeah,
every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, same thing with like if you're not a video guy and you're a blogger, blogs. My partner, amazing blogger. Like off the charts, hilarious, had a top 2,500 blog in the USA, like was in the top 2,500 sites in the USA for traffic from his blog. And he literally, I get on the phone, I get leads every day from blog posts he wrote 4.5, 5 years ago. That's leverage. The 8 hours he spent 5 years ago in front of his computer, bleeding his eyes out, typing, is still making us money. It's working for us while we're not actually working on it.
Yeah, and that's how it needs to be. So how did you guys go about learning that? Like, I guess it's a big thing is people say, okay, it sounds good. I see why I should do it. How? What's a how? What do they have to master? Where do they go? Maybe it's a mindset thing. What do you think?
Well, how you master anything is, I think you put the time and effort into it, and you start finding people that are doing in the arenas that you want to learn. If you want to learn to blog, go freaking hire a blogging coach. Mm-hmm. You know, if you want to learn how to be the YouTube guy and you want to know how to leverage YouTube, go on YouTube and look for someone that's talking about it. There's probably some free information out there.
Definitely.
I think the bottom line is go find people that have already done the things that you want to be the master at. No different than why you go to college or you go to a school to learn a craft or a trade. Is like you're going to go find the carpenter who knows how to do the carpentry so you can learn how to be the carpenter. Exactly. So it's not overly complex of how you learn shit. It's just that, are you going to put the time and effort into going out and learning the shit?
Exactly. You know? I'm leading. Just so you know, I'm leading you into questions I know the answers to, and I
know you know the answers to these questions.
Well, you know, I know there's people that sit back, and I try to, as I'm listening, I want to think in their head, like, what are they going to think? And that's the big thing too. Is like you led in and said, just like school or carpenter, one thing people don't want to do is they don't want to spend money to learn something. Like they're like, well, I want to go read a bunch of blogs or articles, but the best thing that I found is like I go pay people for synthesized information. I find people who I'm going to pay money that I know at the back. I mean, I get it today back, but months from now I will. And it's you got to put that effort in. And sometimes the effort is not just physical, but it's also financial.
Listen, the bottom line is when you pay a lot of attention. So you want to start learning and moving yourself forward. Take some money that you put up on this pedestal. I mean, damn it. You go and work for freaking 40, 50 hours a week for $20 an hour or whatever it is that you do. And you treat money like it's this god. Yeah. But you'll be a slave to that master for the rest of your life because that's what you this money means so much to you. It's like, dude, you want to get out of your own way, freaking go find someone who's done what you want to do, pay them to help you get there. I mean, it's so true. But I run into it every day with people too. They tell me oh, I hate my job, or I hate my this, or I hate my that. And you're like, well, then do something about it. And if it's going to take money to invest, then figure it out. We live in a world where money is everywhere. Mm-hmm. Freaking house I live in, I didn't freaking pay for it. The bank paid for it. I'm just paying the bank back for it, right? It's like I had to invest. Yeah, I took a risk, but it's like if you want something, we have all the resources in this world available. Visa, MasterCard, American Express. I mean, hell, you want some money, they'll give it to you. Yeah. You know, you need a car, guess what? You didn't pay for it. The bank gave you a loan for it. So, you know, if the people that want out of a situation bad enough will get out of the situation. They just need to start critically thinking and solving problems. And I really do believe, though, like you said, when you spend money on something for that synthesized information, dude, you have the breakthroughs because now you've actually put some blood, sweat, and tears into your knowledge, and you're not going to let it just roll off your back. Yeah. The bottom line is if it was all about just the information, we'd all be freaking ripped, sexy, rich, and have great golf swings, right? Mentors mean something, right? Guys that have been there or girls that have been there and walked the walk in the shoes that you want to go and be in, they can help you with that information, you know?
Yeah, you just got to go out and actually seek it and find it. And then I think sometimes we get critical. And I think the ego pops in too, because like when I first started my gym, I closed it 2 years ago, but I first started, I was in a hole, man. I had 2 weeks to pay $16,000, I had $4,000 left. I'm going to get evicted. And the biggest thing I did was spend the last $4,000 on a consultant. I was like, bro, tell me what's wrong. Like, what am I doing wrong? And after that, like 2 months later, I was making from $7,000 a month to $27,000 a month.
Wow.
I ended up being a consultant. Like everything grew to where I could then close that and venture off into this world. But that was because I finally said, teach me what don't.
Yeah, it's huge, man. I mean, there's a lot of smart people out there that know stuff that you and I don't know. And you just got to be willing to throw your ego to the side and saying, help me. And I know for me, I had this background in sales and I thought I was the biggest swinging dick in the room when it came to sales. Like, I'm the man. I was a closer at a car dealership and the whole deal. And I went and paid a guy from Australia that came very highly regarded. I went down to a seminar down in San Diego, and it was my biggest breakthrough of all time for my sales career was being in this room with these people and just getting a different perspective on things and stop breathing in my own exhaust. I had to stop breathing my own exhaust of how great I was. Yeah, I'm sure I was good, but I got a lot better by listening to someone and investing in myself,
Yeah, I dig it. All right. So I like so their whole thing is about killing your 9 to 5, which is probably why some people are here. So I kind of want to lead into you. Like, what is it you do? How can these people, if this sounds like interested in them, how can they reach you? And like, what do you do that would be like the thing that transitions, that makes that a reality? Yeah.
So you probably remember back in Eugene, there was a taxi company called Oregon Taxi. You probably remember. Yeah. Right. So I decided about 7-8 years ago, as I started to learn the skill set of how to harness the internet, how to leverage the internet to generate leads, I decided like, I can start businesses virtually in this day and age. I don't have to actually own the taxi cabs. I don't have to own the vehicles, the dispatch. I just need to own the customers. Okay. And if I can use this internet, this free tool, and I could use this knowledge that I've learned over here from these different coaches and mentors and trainings that I've been through, and I could start harnessing all the people that I know are buying taxis every day and get in front of just a sliver of these people, then I can virtually own businesses. It's like virtual real estate. Okay. So our entire business model is much like the Uber business model. Okay. Where we're basically connecting consumer with the business. Okay. And we're just taking a little sliver to deliver. Okay. So my very first business I ever did was I built this online virtual taxi business. I bought a tracking phone line. So this is the how. Bought a tracking phone line. So I own the phone number. I went out and bought my own domain name. So I own the domain. I'm not a technical dude. So I went and found a really easy web builder. As you see, I could barely get on this. I don't have a Twitter handle, whatever.
That's great.
So I went out and I used a free drag and drop web builder called Weebly. So that's another how for you guys. Very simple. My daughter, who's 7 years old, I've taught her, she built one live on camera in 20 minutes, a website. It's not hard stuff. It's literally dragging the pictures and dragging the text. It's very simple. So I went and did that. Started going through all the rest of the processes that I had been learning from the coaching and trainings I had been going through of how and what it takes to generate leads online. And I put this thing out into freaking cyberspace, out into the internet. And about 3 weeks later, all of a sudden, I had the phone line forwarded into my cell phone. My phone starts ringing. And I'm answering the phone. I'm down in California at the time, and people are like, it's like midnight. I was at a buddy's birthday party, and it's like, hey, I need a taxi. And I'm like, what do you mean you need a taxi? You got the wrong number. Click. And after like the 5th call, I'm going, what is going on? Like, how did my number get out there? And then it like dawned on me, like, oh my gosh, 3 weeks ago, I put this kind of into action, thinking it would take a lot longer to really start seeing phone calls come in.
Yeah.
That night, I got 50 phone calls.
Wow.
I had to turn my phone off. I took the battery out. It was lighting up the hotel room. And I got back to Eugene, and I ended up linking up a deal. And basically went to a business and just said, hey, I'm getting these referrals for taxis. I don't own a taxi company, but I'd love to send them to you. Ended up sending them to a company. I said, I'll call you in a week. Called them a week later, and they're like, Dan, this is like one of the best weeks we've ever had. You send us all we're getting like extra 50 to 100 calls a day from what you're doing. And our drivers are loving it. So I ended up making a deal with them for $2 a phone call. Okay. So literally while I'm sleeping, I'm making money. Like, I've leveraged the internet. These taxis are going all over Eugene while I'm asleep. And I have this huge aha moment. And I'm like, dude, I don't have to freaking own any physical assets. I just need to own virtual real estate in this day and age. I just need to be able to leverage. And I need to go into industries and markets that I know money's already being spent. I think one of the biggest things people try to do is they get into industries where they got to be the market maker. They got to convince someone that you need this. Well, shit, when I spill red wine on my carpet tonight, I'm going to need a carpet cleaner to come over. And so what am I going to do? I'm going to go somewhere and search for it. It might not be the internet. Maybe it's a buddy or maybe but whatever. I know some of the people are going to the internet in the local markets. So for me, that aha moment was, why not own and operate virtual businesses? Just set them up, own them, put tracking phone numbers on them, and then find the hungriest business owner that wants more customers and rinse and repeat that model.
Gotcha.
And so what it did for me is it hit two major things that were important to me. Number one, I liked the marketing and end of this whole business. I had an interest in the internet and I had interest in marketing and internet marketing. So that passion was kind of like, boom, there it is. I enjoy it, right? That's what I talked about first. And secondly, it hit that leverage point. Once I built that taxi business, now we're talking almost 8 years later at $3,200 a month is what I bring in from that one property.
Yeah.
That's damn near $300,000 for one property I built 8 years ago.
Still doing
that's leverage at its best, So the model of job killing is really taking students and teaching them this business model of how to harness and leverage the internet to help local business owners where they really don't know what they're doing. I mean, they really don't.
I didn't. I had no idea what I was doing when I had my business.
Yeah. And so if you can come, like, you're good at what you were doing though, like you're good at training people and getting them in shape and the whole deal, but it doesn't mean you're good at what I do.
Exactly.
And so for many people that watch this or listen to this, it's like, it's a business model that you could transition from a 9 to 5 and actually do without having to buy a $50,000 facility or do a whole build out on a franchise or whatever. You can limp into it with minimal investment, because you got to buy a domain name and a tracking phone. I mean, it's a couple $100 at most to get one going, but the returns are fantastic because, we're dealing in, taking a little sliver of some action, taking a sliver to deliver,
That makes complete sense, man. I like this. I'm like, did I get the wrong business? No, I'm digging it though. I like this model. So, I'm not going to do it. I do my own thing. But I think this is phenomenal because I'm going to start sending a lot of people to you by the way, because a lot of people ask me questions, but people want to do what I do. Like, they want to get on camera and talk and create solutions, but not everybody can do what I do. I find that not everybody can be on camera. It can operate how I operate. Some can. I love working with them and I actually help a lot of them. But there is that person who's like, man, I hate my job. I don't like the video. I don't like camera. I don't want to be a personality. I'm like, I got to find a way to be able to give somebody a solution. I think you are it. So I guess in a roundabout way, how do I direct people to you, or how can anybody watching this get a hold of you?
Yeah. So, I mean, the best way probably is just jobkilling.com, our site. And you'll literally, we have hundreds of videos of our students that we've done case studies where we've actually, after they've went through the training, we let them pull up their stuff and kind of show it off and talk about, hey, this is what I did for a living. This is what these guys taught me. And here's the results I'm getting. And here's my calls I'm getting every day. And here's the company I'm sending them to. Yeah. And I think that's where people should go, because even if you don't join us, take notes from the model that I'm telling you of what to do. And, obviously I think, if you're serious about it, we can fast forward a lot of those results, synthesize the information. But I think it's definitely, you'll get sucked in over at jobkilling.com into watching just the case studies. It's pretty cool stuff.
I actually did. I was telling you when I first saw it, I happened upon you by watching this. It was like the morning. It was like a 15 or 16 minute video. And I don't watch long videos. And I just remember watching this thing all the way through. I'm like, this is interesting, because I'm a curious guy. I'm like, how the hell is that possible? But I watched it. It made sense. That's why I want to have you on, because I think it's definite value to the people that ask me questions, my audience, and definitely want to help push whatever you got going out forward. You seem like a decent guy. You got a family. Like, it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, man, for sure.
All right, I like it, man. So I'm not gonna take too much of your time. I gotta get out of here because I gotta go and see Deadpool, my buddy, and I
heard it's dope.
Are you? Don't tell me anything else.
I haven't seen it. My brother saw it on Friday. He said it was dope.
Oh, yeah. Good. So I
don't take any kids though.
No, it's rated R, but it's funny. It's the first rated R movie to make the amount of money, like 100 and something million it made. It's actually more than all the PG-13 ones, whatever they are before.
Yeah, he said definitely don't take any kids to that.
Yeah, that was good. All right, man. Well, hey, seriously, like I am very thankful. This is like one of my favorite ones I've done yet, because I think you gave some really powerful, like, tactical stuff people can use, and I think it's good, man. I'm gonna hopefully help you do what you do and push it forward, man. Anybody that's reaching out or watching this right now, feel free to reach him. Go to jobkilling.com. He's a busy guy, so I don't know if you can reach him directly. My phone's ringing, my doorbell's ringing. I don't even know why. But go visit him. He's going to help you guys out massively in whatever you do. Seriously, thank you again for coming on. And that's it, man. I got nothing else for you.
All right, man. Go Ducks.
Go Ducks. Hey, but every night of my video, I close that out. I'm going to keep, everybody always send me messages. Hey, what's the Duck? What's his Duck? That's the Ducks, damn it.
There you go.
All right, man.
Buddy. Have a good one. Have fun.
You too.
Bye.